This is Justin, aka Blacksite, aka Standing on Stardust, aka Mixing and Mastering Engineer at Black Techno Matters, aka very soon the Discord Lord. I'm very excited, very excited. All kinds of names that I got and all kinds of jobs. But today we're just talking about a Blacksite tune that Drew and I made. We are from DC. We grew up going to Moombahton Massive. Moombahton is something that I will always make and that we will always play. So I wanted to kind of do something that felt a little bit more modern. So I'm going to play this through to the build. I'll play like a minute and a half and then we'll talk about the different sections, okay? Okay, so I think a lot of this has to do with just this kick group and this perk, but really not the perk group, this tap knock bus. This is like 90% of this track for me. Like, the mix is not doing this justice. I need to get a better mix, but really we've just been dialing the arrangement. We're going to start freezing and flattening things. As you can see, some stuff is already frozen. But this groove right here is the vibe. Sorry, that's embarrassing. I should show you this. Okay, so what I did is I found a sample that I liked. I think it's from Wavepoint. Yeah, shout out Wavepoint. Wavepoint, Golf Clap split up into there was two people, and one is now Wavepoint and one is Golf Clap. But house heads know what I'm talking about. And so I guess I use these. I guess it would be, you'd be hearing, this would be the pattern that I started with, right? Boom, 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 tap 3, and then just the kick. So this is really what I started with. Basically the tap 1, tap 2, tap 4, 5, 3. And then I added in a layer and pitched them to match up, and now we end up with something like this that has a little bit more of a sub knock on these. Especially these. If I take the kick off and I A-B it, you'll notice immediately. Actually, let me do that. So tap, it's like every other. See? right? And then we go here. See, so they really got the low end, and then they complement the low end on the kick. And if we look inside these, it's just some soft clip stuff. And here, I'll take off one and I'll show you. I will do tap one. Okay, so this soft clip setup, it's just me controlling how hard I hit the soft clip in Ableton Glue by setting up a macro where when I turn this up, the other one gets turned down. But this sample, I didn't want to clip, but if I really wanted to clip it, this was just a default. Some of them are clipped, some aren't, but I'll show you what I mean. So we'll listen to this right here. And then if I start pushing it, see the lights coming on. This, when it's clipped, it's going to be, it sounds almost shorter, but it's also distorted a little bit, technically speaking, where taking the top off. But clipping can add some like upper harmonics and stuff sometimes when you, from the clipping itself, you can get like cooler sounds in. But I did not do that with this. Okay, and sorry, the extended mix is out here, and then this is the fast one. So this would be like release, club edit, you know, but I always release the extendeds and then make little edits for myself. So that's these percussion, and now we have to talk about the drum fills because that's a whole other beast. So these alternate and they're kind of doing some different things, but if I just play them with the kick, you'll hear what's going on. So it's, I'm stupid, hold on, right? And then there's this one. So this one ends with a big reverb. This second one ends with like almost a metallic snare. And then this one we got a right, so kind of like A B, but then this one goes to a different one. And then the kick comes in and the drop. So we're going to play that section again so we can all just kind of pay attention to what the drums are doing. Okay, and so the hi-hats are just doing some basic stuff. Ride, reinforcing. I have these little hat chops that kind of are doing stuff. Right, and then if you listen to that just with the kick, they just kind of push the momentum. They're not doing, these are really accents. And then with the ride, it's like And there's a little white noise group. This kind of stuff is just really accent. And so that's to help the empty space right here in this section. Right? The drop off in volume. And then I have some stuff like this white stuff, but that's mostly for builds. Same with this. And I can play that through if anyone's curious. And that's very common for me. I'll have some samples that are taking care of like the sustained group, and then I have a couple samples that are handling that last bar where it's like a, you know, suck it right in. I got some Foley, the bass groups, nothing of it. The horn group, okay. So the horn sample I created using Arcade. And then I sent it to my friend Mark Butler. He goes by Saint Mark, and he was like, look, I don't think that I don't think it sounds right. I think you should make it sound like you sampled it, like actually, like from a record. So we talked back and forth, and I kept on sending him versions, and he helped me, and we got it to this point where it's like, this horn group sounds like I took it from a record. And then so in the drop, we don't really bring it in, except for that extra section, right? But it really, if I play like a little bit of this, it really adds energy to the extra section. Whoops, hold on. And the fills and all this stuff needs to happen because the lead is something that I have layered. So what I did is I found this. But then I found this sound from a Moombahton pack on Splice as well. But the problem is that when I got it, it sounded like this. It was just this sound looped. Like that. Right? It was very trappy. So what I decided to go with was finding out each note, pitching each one, and matching them up. And so by the time I finished it, this alien lead and this boop boop lead becomes this. Right? And then with some processing on mag, which just ends up being me like pushing a bunch of stuff up aggressively. +2, +2.5, +2, +1. Oh, hold on. +2. And this has a lot of here. If I group all this, and turn it off, we can listen to this one. Oh, hold on. And then with the processing, right? So you can hear that, and then with the alien lead, I already flattened it, but this is pretty close. It's just a really aggressive sound. I did a little EQ, like here, I'll show you the EQ. You can see that I shaped it. There we go. So it's just popping. But we haven't dropped this because we want to have a second drop, right? So like, where's this? So we basically started. So we found a new sound that we pitched down, right? So now we need to get rid of these and then set in a new audio track and do the same thing over. Find a new kind of screechy, because the low end sound is the boop boop, right? And then the high end sound is the alien lead, right? Because if you listen to the boop boop, it's like, it's kind of rolling through the low mid, and then this is like mid to high end. Right, so we're gonna do a lead texture. We'll call this boop boop lead 2, and then now we need an alien lead 2, right? And that's how we'll get this settled. But if you want to hear the extended, this is just kind of the casual drop. So in the extended, I don't even bring the horns in. It's like all aggression on the drop. But if there's anything else I want to talk about, it's going to be this kick group, which is this lovely kick I have right here. Let me unfreeze this so we can kind of see it in its full glory. Okay, so there's no... So, see how I'm using that saw clip? Boom. Isotope trash. No, oh, I see what happened. It's on my other screen. So I'm using the multi-band feature, and I'm not touching... Oh, no, I am touching a couple things. So I'm touching this high band a little bit. The second band, not at all. This first band, quite a bit with a drive. And I'm just driving the low end pretty hard to get that kind of like nice, clean low end with the sub for Moomba. Then I'm pushing this up a lot. Low end, quite a bit. I'm cutting 650. I'm adding a decibel at 2500 and up, and that's it. But without this, it sounds like this. And I mean, I processed this before, that's why it's already frozen. I'm about to turn on the plugins. And so that carries over in the mix a lot. And 90% of these decisions were made not in solo. I would be doing stuff like here, I'll show you in the mix what the kick sounds like. I want to remind everyone, this is different from me just turning the volume up. Like, I'm adding volume to two specific places on the kick here. I'm adding volume to some specific places on the kick here and removing some in a certain place. Here, I'm only playing games with the top of the limiter. I'm not actually adding volume because this utility turns down any volume that I add with this utility. So overall, I am just trying to push things and maneuver them while I'm mixing. Like, I love to work on a kick and be like, well, my kick doesn't fit. Well, let me go through all my tracks, make sure there's room for the kick. Is there room for the kick? Now there is. Let me go in here and start adding some things in the mix and see how I can shape it to fit better the space that's available. But thank you very much, and hopefully this comes out in 2023. Thank you.